All right, hello everybody. Jonathan and Tara Dower here, and this is episode 2 of Trail Talks. The focus today is going to be on injuries on the trail. And so Tara and I kind of ran through a couple. I had a little bit of knee problems at the beginning from overuse injury, a little bit of chafing here and there, but it wasn't a big deal. IT band problems, but even that, like none of it was really all that serious.
Yeah, I had a lot of falls, cuts and bruises, achy shoulder, and my eczema bothered me. But just like Jonathan said, we didn't really have to take time off the trail or really worry about it. Honestly, it wasn't a big concern to us. It didn't affect our hiking at all. But today, our guest is Evan Campbell, or Pics. And he knows a thing or two about injuries and how it affects your thru hike. So, hey, Pics.
Hello. Hey, how's it going?
It's going well.
Good.
Yeah, anyway, I'm Pic. Okay, so I started on St. Patty's Day, March 17th, and then I finished on September 22nd.
Wow.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So, how many days is that?
I have no idea. That's a little over 6 months. So, like, what's 6 months? 180 days?
Okay.
Probably like 105 days. 185 days.
Okay.
Something like that. Yeah.
Something like that.
And
Something like that.
And so, why? I don't know what I'm trying to say. I think what I'm trying to say is, was it the injuries that caused you to hike for so long?
Oh yeah, dude. Like, yeah, no, 100. I would say total time off trail was at least like a month and a half, dude. From how many? Yeah. So like I wasn't even.
Along the way.
Yeah, like in total, like probably a month and a half, I was not hiking. You know. So.
Okay. Cool.
Definitely had. Yeah, that had a big effect for sure.
Dang.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk all about those injuries in detail, I'm sure, during this. A lot of people don't really. I don't think a lot of people realize injuries are like in abundance on the trail.
Oh yeah, yeah.
People know it, but they don't know how many injuries and what injuries can really take you off the trail for a while and how can you come back from that. So I think this will be really good for people to hear.
Or also people who think like, oh, if I get hurt, then I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and that's totally not the case. Like, sure, there are some times when like you feel that way.
But
Yeah, I agree.
Cool. So we'll split this up into pre-trail, during trail, and post-trail. So our first question for pre-trail, what made you want to hike the Appalachian Trail?
You know, my answer, I feel like it's so hard to that because like everybody asks you that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And really, it wasn't anything huge. Like I was just in school and I was working 2 jobs. And then I was like, I'm kind of like bored with this. I'm going to finish this semester so I was going to community college. So I graduated that semester with my associates. And I was like, you know what? I'll just take a year off and go do something sweet. And then I remember because Alex and I, my girlfriend, we went to Shenandoah. What was that, Al? June? In June that summer. And like we like picked up a bunch of thru hikers, whatever, who were hitchhiking. And so I talked to them. So it just kind of came in my head like, oh, that'd be kind of sweet, Like go hike the AT. Like no idea what I really was getting into. So I was just like, yeah, I'll do that. And then it just kind of started,
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. Who had a similar story to that? I think Nev and Flipper both met. Yeah, they both met people on top of Springer Mountain, like thru hikers, and then they're with them, amongst them, and they're like, this sounds cool.
Do this.
Yeah, we'll do this.
Oh, like they went and just day hiked Springer Mountain or something?
Yeah.
Ah,
and then
that makes sense
people
though.
up there. Yeah. So I wonder how many people we've talked to that were day hiking and were like, hey, that sounds fun.
And that's kind of funny. There was a guy who picked us up. I can't remember what town now, but we were hitchhiking trying to get into town, and he picked us up, and he was just like roaming around, like driving around the country, trying to like figure out what he wanted to do. And we told him what we were doing, and he's like, oh wow, like, and he had this whole thought like we met for a purpose or something like that. And now like he wants to do it or whatever. So
really,
maybe I don't know.
Well, that's good.
Like, maybe he'll do it or no, or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that'd be cool if you did, dude. I
Yeah.
think that'd be cool. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah. So before you started, so you kind of just like happened upon it and started learning about it. Did you have anything that you were looking forward to, or did you really not really know what you were getting?
Dude, really, I was just like going in it, dude. I was just jumping in full splash. Like, I was just like, I don't really know what I'm getting into, but I'm just gonna go do it because it seems sweet, you know. Like, and I feel like no matter how much research you really do, like, you really have no idea what you're about to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you have no idea what's coming. But I don't know. It really intrigued me, and it just was kind of like, yeah, you know what? I'll just do that. Just gonna do it. Yeah. So then I just did it, and it was great.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
So, along with that, I mean, since you didn't have like a lot of like, you just jumped in, did you kind of expect to get injured?
No, because here's like, I always consider myself a pretty athletic person. You know what I mean? In sports my whole life, and even athletic outside of sports, just like working out, whatever, being active. So like, and it wasn't my first backpacking thing. You know what I mean? Like I have experience, so I thought, whatever. Like okay, like I know what I'm doing. You know. Um, I definitely could have trained more though. I took that for granted for sure. Uh, so no, I didn't really expect to get injured. I knew maybe, you know, my body would hurt at times, and I especially didn't expect to get injured as much as I did, if that makes sense. Yeah. And it's not even like, I think one thing that people think about when they think about injuries is like, it's a massive, horrible injury, you know, and then like you said, Sheriff, you're just done, you know, like you're just, that's it, you're out. I feel like more so than not, they're just these weird little injuries that you like would not expect to happen. You know what I mean? Like little tendonitis in your like foot developing, and you can't like, you know, like bend your foot, you know, like you didn't think about that.
Yeah.
It's just a little thing. So that's, I feel like those are more prevalent than the giant trip ending injury.
Yeah.
Fall and snap your leg. Just snap.
Yeah, your bones like out of your leg, you're bleeding everywhere. Yeah, no.
I feel
No.
like those injuries are a lot more, what am I trying to say here? It's a lot more easier, obviously, to get off trail knowing you just snapped your leg in half.
Yeah,
Instead of, like, getting off trail with, like, oh, I have a bruised bone and I can't really walk right.
Yeah, like this just hurts like really bad, you know?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I feel like that's obviously an easier way to get off trail, but it's like, dang it, I just like bruised my bone a little bit and now I can't get off trail.
No, they're upsetting. Like it's you just, it can be annoying at sometimes, you know?
Yeah, it's super frustrating. Yeah. All right, so we'll talk about during trail. So summarize your hike in 3 words. This is a hard one.
Yeah, this is. Number 1 off the bat, it was hard. I would say number 2, rewarding. Very rewarding. And I don't know, can I say worth it as one word? Does that count as one word?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay, and worth it. Yeah, and worth
hard,
it. That's what it is.
Rewarding and worth it.
And worth it. Yeah. Totally worth it.
I think it's kind of funny because I've heard other people like, hey, what's a word that describes your trail? And they would say like painful or whatever. And I think it's funny. You didn't even say that, and you probably had more injuries than anybody else we've talked to or like experienced.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Yeah.
No,
what about you guys?
Top 3 words.
Man.
That just come to mind. Probably one for me would be like solitude. That was something that I experienced out there to like an extreme, but it's also something that I probably loved almost more than anything else.
No, totally. Like not feeling overcrowded and congested and whatnot.
Some of my favorite times were the times where like I had no headphones in and no one was around and it was just me out there.
Yeah, dude, you're just chilling.
Obviously, like I loved everyone else like all of our friends and all trail family, but the solitude was something that one, like you don't really experience in normal life, and 2, you don't know how it'll feel.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
That was one for me at least.
I would say like fun, stressful, and I don't know. But it was like fun most of the times, and then most of the time it was also stressful.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think those two words describe it for me.
Yeah.
Really.
Fast, too.
Fast,
Probably
yeah.
Fast. Yeah. No.
Especially now that it's over.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
agree. I agree to that. I feel like though, like I don't know if it's because I was on for so long, but like to me, it's almost like I lived like 3 lifetimes. You know what I mean? Do you feel like the beginning was a separate lifetime than
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
end? You know,
Yeah,
like it's so weird.
it was only like 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that, I feel like, to me, that's kind of why it feels either like, one, it just feels like it flew, but two, it also just feels like a weird memory. Because,
Yeah.
Like a dream.
Because
Yeah.
it was, I mean, 5.5, 6 months is a long time to be doing
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
But it's crazy, like, for us, we've been off for a month. You've been off for a couple, like 2 weeks, a week and a half.
Maybe a week and a half. Week and a half, yeah.
And to me, like, it's only been a month, and it already feels like some weird, foggy memory.
Yeah, dude, I already feel that way too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything's like the same when you come back home. It's like nothing's changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
That's
weird.
very weird. That is very weird. I agree. Yeah. It's kind of uncomfortable, you know? You're kind of like, oh, like I don't know. It feels weird. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
like,
totally there with you.
Am I missing something almost? You know, like,
yeah.
Am I missing something from what I just experienced because it already feels foggy?
Yeah.
I feel like it could be the people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
For
feel
sure.
like they're gone, so it's like totally different if that makes sense, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, we all went our separate ways.
Yeah. Anyways, we just took a big rabbit trail.
Yeah.
But so yeah.
That's all right.
What was your favorite part now that you are able to look back? Do you have a favorite part?
Like section or like experience or anything?
Like
well, obviously Maine. I feel like that's pretty obvious, you know.
Yeah, me too.
Maine was amazing, super great.
Wow.
Yeah. The times with you guys, like with my the big tramily was great.
Yeah.
Like that was really awesome. Those were fun times. And dude, definitely finishing, obviously.
Oh yeah.
Completing, yeah. Great feeling, dude.
What was your final day like?
Dude, it was perfect, dude. I lucked out so hard. We had a completely perfect week of weather through the 100 and then ended with a completely perfect day. And
That's great. Yeah.
Oh, dude, the last day it was just great. I was so pumped. Like flew up Katahdin, you know what I mean? Like we just ran up. We ran up to tree line in like less than an hour and we're like, "Oh my gosh." Like we're just so ready to go. It was great. Oh, dude. It was so good. It was great. Yeah. And then we just oh shoot. And then we just you'll have to beat that. You'll have to beat that. Can you beat that? Ah, jeez. I've been doing good. Then we just ran to the top. It was great. Did y'all do knife edge?
We did, yeah.
Yes, dude. Yes.
You did too?
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
That was
so
painful.
worth it. It was, dude. It was kind of like it was a little harder than I thought, but it was so fun. It was so fun.
Yeah, that ridge line was awesome. And so this is again rabbit trail. But so we're going down. We go back down into the trees, and we're just like getting ready to go to the parking lot.
Yeah.
And there were some, I think they were day hikers or whatever, or campers at the bottom. But they were in front of me, and I just like looked to my right. 15 feet away from me is this huge moose with like a big thing, just standing there completely silent, totally still. And like I've only seen one moose before this, and it was like 200 yards away.
Yeah.
Not moving. And I'm like, is that real? Like, did someone just set this up right here?
Yeah.
But I just couldn't, it was like so hard to process that it's this close.
Yeah.
And then it moved a little. I'm like, oh my god.
Like, oh, that's actually real. Oh.
Yeah. It was crazy.
That is so cool, dude.
So still and quiet.
Yeah, that was
peaceful.
Cool.
So what did it do? Did it just look at you?
Yeah, no, he just stood there. He was like falling asleep.
Yeah, he's like dozing off.
But there was like 8 of us at one point just standing there watching it, and I'm like, isn't this pretty dangerous?
And he's
Like-
just there like sleeping like
Yeah, he's just standing
What?
there, and like his eyes just kind of close, and then they'll open, and yeah.
Dude,
it was-
moose are the goofiest creatures, man. They
Yeah.
are so goofy, man.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
They're incredibly goofy.
Anyways,
Yeah.
back on track again.
All right, here's the big question. Everyone's
All right.
here for. Can you name all your injuries? When did you get them, and what caused them?
That is a big.
yeah. Some of them I feel like I can't name. It'd just be like the muscle, like a strained muscle or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
First one I had was actually strained muscle in like the outside of my like the outer side of my shin bone on the muscle, kind of like a little bit above the ankle. And I just took a week off in Bryson City, North Carolina for that. That happened because I wore extremely heavy boots. I've learned to go back from boots. Yeah, trail runners all the way. But really heavy boots, and they were like the first pair of boots I ever had, so they were super worn out. And I didn't really think I didn't think anything about it. And so my legs were just getting destroyed. So I got new shoes when I was in Bryson City, and those helped a lot. The week helped, obviously, and the shoes I thought helped. The next one, what was the next time I got injured? I feel like the next one would be honestly like my shin. No, I had that ingrown toenail, but that was like a day. That was just I took the day off so I could go get medicine. That was really the only thing. I just got antibiotics. That did hurt though, but it wasn't horrible.
Yeah.
Then I got the shin splint, and that was in New Jersey. That I think I got from kind of I'd gotten a new pair of boots in Virginia that was also kind of heavy. They were like shoey, but they were heavy. They were waterproof.
Were those the Merrills?
No, the Keen.
Okay.
So remember when I caught back up to you guys at that campground where we swam? I had like just gotten them then at like that time. So that was after the Merrills. But I think those kind of also I think it was from Pennsylvania. You know, like it developed through Pennsylvania, the shin splint. Because you know those rocks are not forgiving at all.
No.
After that, what happened after that? Oh yeah, after that, then I had strained kind of basically the same thing on my right leg, but on my left leg in New York. And that one was kind of hard for me because I had just taken the week off and lost you guys, you know, for the whatever, for the shin splint. And so and it was like a week after that. So it was just like really like already. And it was during that heat wave. So I'm just dying of heat, dude. I was so pissed. I was so angry. Then what happened? Then I think I got Lyme disease. I think that was the next one. And that's
I remember hearing that. And I'm like, how is he not getting off? You know, it's like one thing after the next, and then it's Lyme disease, and I'm like, man, like,
dude, I was beat down, dude. I was pretty down. But then I was up for a little bit before I got Lyme disease, and I was just like, are you kidding me? Like really, you're gonna drop some Lyme? Like you're gonna drop some Lyme disease on me real quick? It sucked, dude. It sucked. It sucked so much. Yeah, but I got it early. And then for the rest of the trip, I just had like some tendonitis issues that happened that I'd have to take a day off here and there for, you know, that I didn't really expect. But now, now we're done. So a lot of injuries and a lot of annoying repetitive injuries. But
so in all, the time took off, you said, was a month and a half for injuries?
I would say, including zeros too. So like zeros, whatever, family visiting, injuries, total time I took off, I feel like would have to be like a month and a half. At the very, 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 very least a month. At least a month. But a month and a half seems probably about right.
Yeah.
Of non-hiking time.
So I guess when it comes to healing, because there are definitely guys out there. Probably there are some girls too, but when I just think like a mindset of a guy's like, oh, I'll just toughen it through. You know, like with something like splints. Like, did you ever get shin splints when you were playing sports?
No. So that's what confused me. Like I was like, I have never had this before. But I mean, you know, like a thru hike is a totally new thing on your body. You know, it's totally different.
Yeah, exactly.
Experience and stress on your body.
And so I would say that because there are probably going to be people out there who are like, well, if I run into something like that, I'll just toughen it through.
Yeah.
And because I mean, you decided to rest your shin splints, and there were even people in our group who were saying, like, trying to get you to just push through and like,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
you don't need a break.
Yeah.
And so, what would you say? I know what you said to them because I was there with you. But for people who think, especially on a through hike, oh, I'll just push through it, what would your advice to that be?
Like when you first get it, you can at least go with it for a little bit and see how it pans out. Like, is this just a little thing that I'm just sore today, or is this something that's getting worse, or maybe it's not. I can tell that this is not going to get better if I just keep going. Which is exactly what happened with my shin splints. Like, I had the feeling for a while in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, well, maybe it's it's just going to go away. And then it was super slow in its like pain progression, but eventually, yeah, it just got to the point where when we were in New Jersey, I'm like, I feel like if I keep going on this, it's not gonna hold out,
Yeah.
So I just was like, like I would rather like take the time off that I need, and you know what, like if I lose you guys, but I can still finish, rather than like not take the time off, I end up losing you guys anyway because I get hurt and then I don't even finish,
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a hard decision. It's a hard decision, but you just at the end of the day, you have to do what's good for your body,
Yeah, because I do remember something you were worried about is having the shin splints just get so bad and not be able to heal and turn into a stress fracture.
Yeah.
Because for people who are listening to, like, you just said it really quickly, but they might miss this. You said you started feeling it in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania was a pretty long state, and it was really taxing on our body.
Yeah.
And you didn't take a break from us until New Jersey. So that means you did Pennsylvania, you did all of New York, and then you decided to take a break. Oh, wait, New Jersey?
No, New Jersey's before New York. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. But still,
Yeah.
so like people who think, well, I'll just push through, it's like you did through PA and you
Yeah.
went to New Jersey.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, you were pushing
Yeah.
through, but still, it just gets to the point where, I mean, it's such a long hike, and if you don't rest up for what needs rest, it'll come back and bite you.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, you just got to ask yourself, what do you want out of this? Like, are you doing this because you want to finish this? Or are you just doing this so, well, like, it doesn't really matter if I finish, or like, what, like, am I just going to keep going? I don't care if I get injured and then whatever, you know what I mean? Or
That's a
I don't
great
know.
point.
Yeah, like, you just got to, I don't know. You just have to really, really, really do what you think you need to do, regardless of who you're with.
Yeah, and so does that kind of includes, like, if I want to hang out with my friends, then either I'm going to ask them to slow down or I'm just going to fight through it, which isn't very smart.
Because you can break your legs.
Which, you can break your legs. So that's a tough point, but it's important. Like, what do you want to do? Do you want to finish? If you want to be with your friends, you're probably going to have a hard time finishing later on in your life.
Yeah.
So it's it's a tough thing, and I know some people have chosen friends in their trail family. I mean, your trail family becomes so important to you.
Oh, of course.
Some people just choose that, and then
they have to get off.
Yeah, or what one of our trail family members did, Puppet. She's actually doing her section right now that she missed. She took off for her tendinitis and took off a week, and she healed up and got back with us, and then now she's going back and doing that Virginia section. So there's always ways, if
absolutely
what's more important to you is your trail family, there is ways to get around that and still finish, but really,
like, you might have to go back.
Yeah.
But
like
that's good though.
Depends on what is more important to you.
Yeah. So I guess a follow-up question. Moving on to the next question. So you have all your injuries. You've gotten off all these different times. What was it like getting medical help for each of those different injuries? Being out.
It was pretty. It was pretty easy. I would say the only ones that I really needed like medical assistance with were Lyme disease, obviously, Well, one, I actually got lucky with my first one. So we were staying at a microtel, and right next door there was a physical therapist office. So I just went in and I was like, "Hey, like, are you guys like available? Do I have to make an appointment?" And they were like, "Yeah, you do." And I'm like, "But they're like, we're booked." I'm like, like, I'm through hiking. And I got a really painful leg. So then they actually just looked at me for free. But
Wow. That's awesome.
yeah, overall, like, it's not that hard. It's really not that bad. And I'm not gonna lie, like, Google was my doctor sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, you look it up. Um, that would just be like, I don't know, if you have like a weird ache, you just look that up, and it's, you know how it is, WebMD, all that good stuff. Yeah. But no, it's pretty easy. I mean, you know, the AT is a very populated trail. It's going through and or near towns all the time. Many towns have some sort of doctor, and or you can at least hitch a ride and or get a shuttle to a bigger town with a doctor if you need to. You know, so it's I didn't really find it an issue. Obviously, doctors are expensive. You know, so that could be an issue if you're on a budget.
Yeah.
You know, definitely, I would definitely recommend working on preventing injuries before even starting.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. So overall, good. It's easy. It's very accessible.
I feel like a lot of people, I feel like a lot of people who don't really know about the trail think of the trail as this like wilderness experience, and you're not going to get to any towns. But like you said, it's
How do you get food?
Yeah, it is.
Dude, that is the funniest question, dude.
Where do you forge?
Yeah.
No, don't forge. Do you hunt? No.
Nope.
But yeah, so I mean, it is a wilderness experience, but it's not as remote as people are probably thinking.
You're not like out there. You know, you're definitely in some parts remote and out there, but you're never like just completely in a desolate nowhere zone. You know.
Yeah.
Maybe until Maine a little bit sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even then you have a bunch of people hiking around you.
Yeah. You can be alone, but you're never alone, ever.
So for the Lyme's disease, I'm just gonna ask a question about that. So did you just miss the tick, or did you start noticing?
I have no idea.
You don't.
No, so like I had this little bite on my ankle, which I didn't see it. I never saw the tick or anything. But ticks are sneaky and they get into things. And I feel like I just noticed it one day, looking like a bug bite, and being like, huh, that looks like a bug bite. But then like eventually, I didn't really notice it had gotten bigger. I feel like until I got sick. So like I woke up one morning, and I just didn't feel right. You know, when you just kind of got that feeling like I might get sick. I might get a little sick right now. And by the end of the day, I could like barely walk. I was so like just exhausted. You know, like dead, like totally dead. And I looked at my ankle and this bite. Then I finally realized that this is like a lot bigger and like purpley red. And I'm like, that is probably not good. So the next day, I wake up, I feel really crappy. Pop 2 ibuprofen, and that helped for a little bit. And we were going up Killington. And I get to the top of Killington, and the ibuprofen had worn off, and I feel like really crappy. So I took more, and it did like nothing. And the whole way down Killington, I'm just dying. We get to the bus, we get taken to the Yellow Deli, and I just feel so bad. Like that night, I was burning up, like sweating. It was so hot. I felt horrible, and then I'm like, I just said to myself, like, I'm going to the doctor tomorrow. Like, I don't even care. Like, I need to go to the doctor. And so I went. Horrible. I had to walk there, dude. This was like 2 miles away, and I'm like dying. It's hot outside, dude. So I walk all the way there, and luckily
it's funny
this dude.
How we complain about mileage in town. It's like it was 2 miles. I had to walk there.
Dude, but with Lyme disease, I felt like I was dying.
I don't know how you did that.
It was so bad. I had no energy. And I get there, and luckily this dude just hooked me up with the doxycycline like immediately. He's like, yeah, dude, like you're out all the time. There's definitely a good chance that was a tick. I'm going to get secondary blood work done to confirm if it's like like neutral. You know what I mean? To see if it's
Like still now you're going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just to like double check because Lyme disease is weird, where it can just like pop. You know what I mean? Like just pop up. So I'm just gonna get that double checked. But the dude, we did blood work. He gave me the antibiotics, and they started working pretty fast. I ended up taking a total of 3 days off in Rutland, and then I started hiking again. And I was still taking the antibiotics for a few days after starting hiking. I was still a little sick feeling, like super tired, like the fatigue was there, and like if I stopped moving, I'd be like shivering, like I was cold all the time, and that sucked. But it didn't last for long after I got back on.
Jeez.
And then I just kept going, and it worked, and we're all right.
You're a superhero. I don't know how you. That sounds terrible.
It sucked.
Yeah.
But you know what? Like whatever, dude. Like you just get through it.
Yeah. What was the biggest thing that kept you going then? In times like that, like in times, I guess the first time you realized, like, I don't know if I'll ever catch the trail film again, or then like,
yeah.
Lyme's disease, and now you're back on the trail and still shivering. Like, what were the things?
Yeah.
What was your mental state that was keeping you going?
So for me, I feel like this is why, in general, I was able to finish the trail, and why I feel like a lot of people are able to finish the trail, because it's just a mentality that you have. Like if you really, really want to do this and you really love this, like I love that stuff. I love to do that. So yeah, like when it gets hard, you just have to realize it. Like, hey, this is just life. This gets hard, but eventually it gets better. Like it's not going to be like this forever, and you just do what you can to help in getting it better, and it normally does. Like I feel like if you had the kind of mindset where you're going in, hey, I know this is going to be really hard, but we're going to rock it. This is going to be fun.
Yeah.
And like if you love it, like you can totally get through anything. Like the hard stuff is just part of the process.
Yeah.
That's
So mentality,
that's
super positive mentality about it. You just got to really love it and do it, really want to do it.
Yeah, you are a very positive person.
Yeah.
So I feel like that helped you, but for your like average Joe that's a little more pessimistic, in your opinion, what do you think they could do in order to help them get through those times?
Well, like cliche, but count your blessings. You know what I mean? Like realize, like let's say it is a rainy day, it's cold, but let's say you got to a shelter and it's like you're the only one in there, or there's one other person, and you're dry. So you're like, okay, yeah, I got rained on, it's cold, that sucks, but I've got so much room in the shelter right now, and I'm dry. So like whatever, like learn to recognize the good, learn to recognize what's good even in the bad.
Yeah.
And focusing on the positive stuff and what's like what good is happening, it's just so much better for your brain and so much better for your like mentality than just thinking of, this sucks, it's cold, I'm wet, like I'm tired, like that's not gonna help. Yeah.
I think you're also a testament to, you said this, but to this isn't how it's always going to be. That's what you said. This isn't forever. I think you're a testament to that, because you went through all these injuries and you told yourself that, and you got through the entire trail. You did it, and you're back and you're smiling and you're happy. Dry and
dry. Always dry now. Always dry.
and you finished, and it's complete.
Yeah.
So I think
that's
you're
like the
really
best
a
feeling.
testament to that.
Yeah.
To like just keeping that mentality, like this isn't how it's gonna be. Just count my blessings and just move forward. And I think that's important. Definitely.
Yeah.
Important.
And I'm not gonna lie, like there were times when I was super down and where I was like, like doubting it or like being like, I don't know, like if I'm gonna finish, because when you're injured or something, you don't know what you have, like really have. You can't physically see what's going on. You don't know if you're gonna get better. You don't know how it's gonna be. So like just being in that kind of uncertainty is really stressful. So I'd be lying if I said that I was just super happy all the time. Like there were definitely some really, really hard times where I was just like, dang, like this is super hard. Who knows if I'll even finish? But then that's where you learn how to recognize. You kind of say to yourself, like, hey, like I'm only focusing on everything bad that's happening to me, like what's happening to me right now that's good. and that is benefiting me. And like, there's a lot. You just got to recognize it.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So with that, were you ever close to quitting? Like you did say that it was
I would
hard.
never quit. I would never quit. I'm not like, never, ever, ever would I quit. I would have to like literally just not be able to continue. Like one day my legs would just stop working. You know what I mean? And I just couldn't walk anymore. Like I don't quit. That's just
awesome.
not who I am. You know? Like never, no, I would never quit, dude.
That's
Even if I
awesome.
had like the chronic Lyme, like I wouldn't like quit. I just would work with it.
Yeah.
Unless I just fell over and then couldn't get up, and then I'd be like, okay, well, I can't move, so you could just take me home.
Alex,
Yeah.
get the sled.
Yeah. Pull the sled out, Alex. We got a long way to go.
That's funny. Yeah, so that's awesome. That's great. I feel like that is definitely hard for people to practice positivity and just never quitting. But I feel everyone has the potential to do it. They just need to change that mindset of theirs.
Yeah.
Because honestly, the only difference between you and those people really is your mindset.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, that's
It's not
everything.
your
You know what I mean?
circumstances, it's not the challenge. It's just the mindset.
Yeah, totally. Your mentality for everything is typically how things go. If you're just down in the dumps and negative all the time, you're gonna have some down in the dumps and negative times, man. But if you're recognizing what's going on that's good, you're gonna have a good time, you know?
Yeah.
Another thing is that your gear, this is totally off topic, but your gear was not like, nothing against your gear. Your gear was amazing and it helped you a lot. But if we're going to be honest, it wasn't the trendiest gear at the time. Like ultralight was the way to go. And so
yeah, dude, definitely not light, dude.
What was?
I got good at the end. We're talking like 28, 30 pounds at the end. So much better than the beginning. Way too heavy in the beginning.
What did you have in the beginning?
Like 60 pounds, dude. Like literally like 60 pounds. I'm not even kidding you. Because that's all I was used to. I was just used to that.
Yeah. I mean,
and I found out real quick. Wait, what's up?
You had everything you needed. What's the way to go? And so
yeah, dude, definitely not light, dude.
Everything you needed and wanted.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, people think that, I mean, this is totally off topic, but they think I need to get all this like top gear and like I need all this stuff to do a through hike. And you have Pic over here who, you know, doesn't have the trendiest gear and he's getting injured everywhere and he made it. So,
you just gotta fight. You just gotta keep rocking, dude. And I mean, like, sure, like, get some good stuff. You know what I mean? Get you some good stuff, but you don't have to go with like the number one of everything. Like, I would say definitely get yourself a good sleeping bag. And maybe like, and shoes. Honestly though, I got like, and shoes and a decent maybe like backpack or sleeping bag. You know what I mean? But like the tent, I had $100. It was just $100, one person tent, and that thing had a tree fall on it, and it still made it through the whole thing. It didn't even break. Yeah.
It had a personality like you.
Dude, it did, man. Yeah.
You guys are made for each other.
We are, dude. I love it. I think when I saw that thing just not get destroyed by that tree, I was like, yeah, you're the one. You're the one, tent. Yeah.
That's great.
That's amazing. That's really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Cool. So, post trail. You want to talk about post trail?
Let's do that. So you go down Knife's Edge also.
Oh yeah, super fun.
Why not? It's the hardest thing.
Why not? It was a perfect day. It was a beautiful day. Yeah.
It would be, if the weather was bad, I would definitely say you're probably not making a smart decision.
Don't do
if the weather's bad, it's not worth it if the weather's bad.
No.
Dude. No.
Well, you don't have a view anyways, but then it's also it's way more dangerous, I would say.
You know what I think is funny? Because, so we have been talking about Knife's Edge, like, that was terrible and so hard. But then I just remember earlier you were like, it was so cool.
Yeah.
So I'm just now realizing our
mentality. Dude, I loved it. It was great.
So incredible.
It was amazing.
And then the view you get of Katahdin from Knife's Edge that you wouldn't get from any other way down. It was unreal.
Dude. It was amazing. It was so fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
Anyways, yeah, so post-trail, other than Lyme's disease, you said you're going to go get checked up again just to make sure.
Yeah.
But do you have any other, like, lasting injuries or problems?
No, nothing really trail related. Alex and I went to Acadia National Park after, and I ran up this trail called the Beehive, which is this vertical cliff. Dude, I was so pumped. I had so much energy. Just a little day pack on, dude. I ran up this thing. But then I think I pulled a muscle in my back from it because my back really hurts after that day. So I pulled a little muscle from that, not the trail. But yeah, I was so pumped, dude. I literally just like ran up that thing. I ran like a mile in like 5 minutes, dude. I ran back to Alex and I like, scouted out this loop trail. I'm like, all right, if you don't want to go up that way, we can like come back this way and we'll come do it. She's like, oh, great, sweet. So then we went back.
Wow.
Yeah, it was so fun.
Wow.
So you have a strained back now. But
Oh yeah, but that kind of a little strained back though. But that's not from the trail.
That's great.
Yeah, that is awesome. So another question I think is important. This might be a long one, but how do you think future hikers should prepare themselves for the possibility of injury? So that could be in terms of before trail, what they do before trail, or during trail. So in those two aspects, what can a future thru hiker do to prevent injury or keep an eye out on injury?
Yeah, definitely before trail. Like just do the things, the little exercises to prevent those little injuries like shin splints and or tendonitis, whatever. Do calf raises and like I forget, I don't know what's called when you bring your foot like towards your knee or whatever, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah,
Like shin raises, stuff like that. Just work on strengthening your feet and your calves and your legs, and definitely keep your body, what's it called? Like limber, but just have good mobility. Stretch. Definitely do some walking. You don't have to do any crazy stuff, but get out there and move around. I definitely didn't too much because if I wasn't in class, I was like working and I delivered pizzas for one, so I'm like sitting down a lot.
Yeah.
So I didn't walk as much as I should have. I definitely walked a lot in my daily life, but I feel like I could have benefited more from some walking. Stretching a lot, I would have benefited from a lot, and just focusing on those little muscles. During trail, just stretch. Like, doesn't have to be an hour long, but like just do a little something at the end of the day. Stretch your calves out, stretch your hamstrings, and your quads. Just don't let those get super tight, because definitely, I also had some in the beginning, some kind of IT band like tightness, like you did. And I just feel like, and like I wasn't stretching. I never stretched. And then I started stretching, and it got better eventually. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Because I remember I was always like I haven't gone to the doctor or like urgent care in so long. And then the first town, Hiawassee, I'm like, well, I think I should probably go because of the pain in my knee. Again, I wasn't stretching at all. Wasn't really taking care of anything. But then it was hurting so bad, my leg was literally like dragging behind. So I would like step with my left and just like pull my right leg up like that. The whole every step was like that.
So many guys got the same thing.
Yeah.
That same IT band.
Well, that wasn't even the IT band, but what happened?
Yeah.
So I just had with that, it was just there was a tissue that attached my femur to my knee, and it was pulling away from my knee.
Oh, that's right.
That was really painful, but then because I was favoring it, then I started getting IT band problems in my left leg just from favoring the right knee. And so I go to urgent care, and in 45 minutes, we figure out what's wrong, and she shows me some exercise. She said, it's not an injury, it's just going to be painful, and it might take 3 to 6 months to heal, fully. And I'm like, what? That's this entire time.
Yeah, this is my whole time.
Well, I mean, it's fine. And so I just started stretching, and it went away so fast.
The stretch
just
really
because
helped.
I started actually taking care of it.
Yeah.
So
Definitely for the viewers, go to urgent care.
Don't be afraid to
Don't be afraid to go. Yeah. Don't be afraid.
Because they'll give you the good exercises. I mean, literally, Jonathan, we did pay for urgent care, but it saved our entire hike because
Yeah.
he was in a lot of pain, and who knows what would have happened if he.
I wasn't gonna. She wanted me to get off before we went to Hiawassee, and I'm like, I'm not getting off. And I just had to tell her, I'm like, because at this point she thought like I was going through all this pain just for her. You know, like this dream or whatever. But I had to tell her, I'm like, if you weren't even here, I would keep going. So I'm not getting off.
But the fact that he's dragging his leg behind him, I was like, this.
Yeah, that's a little worrisome. That's a little worrisome right there. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, no, but that's the thing. As something as simple as urgent care, they know what's wrong with you. They tell you how to fix it, and it went away.
Yeah.
I would also add to this preparation. Sorry, we kind of took over this question.
No, you're fine.
But I would definitely prepare and budget for trips to urgent care. Save money for trips, and just expect it to happen. Expect a trip or two to, get checked out for, giardia or neuro.
That costs a lot of money. Yeah.
Yeah. Just anything.
And then think if you're injured, you got to pay to stay somewhere. You know what I mean? If you don't want to camp, if you want to be at a hostel, you gotta pay to do that. So that adds up. And that's, I think even just in general, a really big thing would just be save up the money for your trip. Don't put a huge constraint on yourself. I mean, if you want to rock that way, you rock that way, you do it. But if you don't want a big constraint on yourself because you feel financially you might be tight, just take another year, take another 2 years, whatever. Get the finances right so that if it comes down to it, you can pay that expense, and it's not going to kill your
money.
Yeah, and that would suck. That would really suck. That would just not be fun at all. Yeah. Save up the cash. Yeah.
So how about for Lyme's disease? What would you recommend people do? Daily checks for ticks, or?
Of course, if you start to feel like you're dying, as in, if you feel like you have, if your body just starts to hurt, you feel really sick, you got a fever, go to the doctor as soon as you can. Don't wait. Go to the doctor and just get blood work, or they'll just even give you antibiotics, and hopefully whatever it is goes away. Don't play with it, especially Lyme disease, because if you wait a week in 2 weeks, it can become chronic to where if you take the doxycycline, you still feel sick and you're still hurting, and then you have chronic Lyme disease for the rest of your life. I got it. I went in the third day I was feeling symptoms, so I was on that, and I feel great. I think it really wiped it out. So
good.
Don't play around, don't play around. If you're serious about your hike and you really want to finish it and you don't want to get ruined by something like that, just go. What's it gonna hurt? It's not gonna hurt anything,
Take care of yourself.
Yeah,
for sure.
Absolutely.
So something we did, I don't know how this works for everyone and their doctors, but I asked my doctor straight up, I was like, hey, I'm going on this hike and there's ticks out there. Would you be able to prescribe me Doxy? So I got Doxy beforehand just in case.
Yeah, and we actually carried it the whole time. And we
so luckily we never had to use it, but we had it on hand. And so if we did have to use it, we had it right there and we could use it.
I knew a lot of people who did that. Yeah,
so it's possible to do that with your doctor, maybe get a prescription. It's worth it to carry that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because let's say you got it and this isn't typical, but 4 days away from a town, right? Well, it gets pretty crappy the longer you let it fester. So 4 days might be extremely hard. So if you had it like that, you could just take it immediately, and just if you had enough food or something, take it 0 even on the trail, or just you would already have the antibiotics, so you could just keep going, because for me, when I got it early, they seemed to start acting pretty fast. Every day I was definitely progressing. I could physically feel myself getting better. It was just a little slow at first.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, I can't imagine how that was on trail, being hot and then being cold and just having that fever. I don't know how I would do
A lot of shivering, yeah. That sucked.
A lot of shivering in 80-degree weather.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, that's so uncomfortable. That's just like a disgusting feeling.
Terrible.
Yeah. Do you guys? Is there anything else about prevention that y'all think?
No, I mean a big thing. I think, obviously, you said like you probably could have done a little bit more walking, but a big thing is like you're not going to get trail legs until you're on the trail. You know,
No.
you're not going to
No.
get in hiking shape until you're hiking it. Like
Yep.
that kind of hiking shape. You know,
Absolutely.
It's a completely different like body function.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, than anything else you'll ever do. And so, like afterwards, I've hit this really hard, but like my body's not good for anything except for backpacking.
Yeah.
And so now getting into normal like working out or running or whatever, it's like I can't go on a 1 mile run without feeling tons of pain. You know?
Yeah.
And it's because like my body is only good for hiking right now. Same thing when you start hiking. Like your body is not good for hiking yet. So there's not that much you can really do. Other than start off, take it slow, and just let your body gradually.
But and kind of like what you said with that though, it's only good for what you've been doing before your hike. You know what I mean? So like, if you were at least doing a little bit of training, well, it might be more ready than if you were just sitting on a couch the whole time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because your body would be in shape to sit on a couch and not walk at least a little bit. You know? Yeah. That would definitely help.
Or you'll quit at the top of the stairs.
Dude, I don't understand why people would quit like on the first night. Like, it's your first night. Come on, give it a chance.
Yeah, it's definitely hard though. That first night, I feel like I had that feeling when I first started my 2017 hike. It was so overwhelming. But I can't imagine also like being out of shape and at the top of these stairs and like, what the heck did I get myself into?
Yeah.
This sucks.
Yeah.
That would be hard, and that would be really hard. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so if that's all we have for prevention, I'm just going to move on.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, second to last question, what would you do differently?
Right off the bat, trail runners. I wasted so much time with boots and like shoe boots, my booty shoes, booty shoes and whatnot.
Yeah, your booty shoes.
Yeah, I am in love with trail runners. I use ultras, but I know there's a lot of other popular ones.
Yeah,
I loved them. I was so glad I started using them. Like so glad. They helped my shins. They helped my feet. Like it was so much better. And they're just so comfortable and they're light. Yeah.
I
They're the best.
remember when we were going through Pennsylvania, that really flat section with all the mud, and you were just stepping in the mud.
Because they had these huge boots.
These waterproof boots.
But then they just got caked in mud, so that was like 3.
Dude, my feet were so heavy. I didn't even think about that. My feet were so heavy.
Yeah. There's this, I don't remember the exact statistic, or not statistic, the exact ratio. But I read in this like backpacking book that I think it's every pound on your feet.
Yeah, like
that's right.
Like 5 on your back or something.
Yeah. I remember we were talking about that. Yeah, we were talking about that.
So that's insane. That's insane because I mean, if you think about it, you're lifting your feet up.
Yeah.
And that's what you're doing this whole time, so it adds up.
Yeah, it would be like putting ankle weights on your legs while you're going out on a thru hike. Like that's what it is.
Yeah. Some people do need.
Sorry, you froze for a second. You can hear me, right?
Oh, did we? Oh.
Yeah, but you're good now. I can hear you. Okay.
Okay.
You're good.
It's like he said. It's like putting ankle weights on.
Dude, absolutely. Yeah, the heavier your boots are, like you're just not gonna have. You want to be fairy footed, man. You want to have little fairy toes, dude. Like just lightly jumping around, man. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
So trail runners.
Trail runners. This is like, what would I do differently? Correct.
Yeah.
Definitely just start with trail runners. Me, probably smaller backpack for sure. Smaller backpack.
How big was your backpack for people?
88 liters. It was big. And dude, and at the end though, like it was only like half full, so like it'd be like sagging. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but I wasn't just gonna go and buy a new one because I'm like, I'm already at like whatever. I'm already out here. I'm just gonna finish with this. Yeah. New backpack, ultras, and maybe just do a little bit more training. Like train a little more before I started. Yeah.
Yeah, good advice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, just to finish off, what's going on for you now, and what's coming up in the future?
Well, at the immediate future, Alexandra, my girlfriend and I, we're going to Gatlinburg, Tennessee tomorrow. Hey, shout out. Back at it. For my brother's birthday. Yeah. My brother's birthday, we're gonna hit the Smokies and probably just head up to Clemansdale, but we're gonna drive up to it because we can do that now. And that's gonna be nice. And then work a lot and do the PCT.
Nice. Yeah.
Next year, yeah.
2020, right?
2020, man. Yeah.
Awesome.
That's the goal. That's the goal. I've caught the bug, dude. Yeah, for anybody wondering, there's a bug, and if you really like this kind of stuff, you'll probably catch it, and you'll just want to.
I've caught it, man.
Yeah, dude.
It's all up in here.
It's just.
Don't go away.
It's like nothing else. It's just.
It really, dude. It's its own thing.
Yeah. To me, like I've said it before, and I've just really felt it's almost like it feels like the lifestyle we were meant to live. You know.
Absolutely. I feel the same way. Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. I would agree.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Cool. Mm-hmm. Well, we are so excited to follow your journey. How can we follow you in Alex's journey?
Oh, well, you can follow me on Instagram at Pic Takes Pics. I don't post too much, but I'll post every now and then.
Nice.
Yeah.
What about Alex? Will she be posting more? For
the PCT? No, Alex would definitely post more. I think her Instagram's just Alex Soy. Alex and then SOY soy, like the sauce.
Nice.
Or the milk.
Or the milk. I didn't think about that. Or the bean.
Yeah.
Soy milk. Or the bean. Soybean. Soybean.
Alex
Indeed.
Soy. Nice.
Alex Soy. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sweet. So we'll be watching your journey. Thank you so much for talking with us.
Dude, thanks for inviting me to the little interview. I really liked it.
This is awesome. Yeah. That was great.
Yeah.
All right, Pic. We'll talk to you later.
All right. Bye, y'all.